Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dharma practitioners, before we come to our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to be very clear with the meditation that we practice here. So especially when it comes to this path, we have to understand what is the path and what is the technique and what is the practice. So mainly, we develop our awareness on the top of the tranquility mind. So your tranquility mind is the base. Because sometimes some people say, no need tranquility mind. But here in the path, if there is a person that directly can go into recognize deeply things, it is okay. But as for ordinary people, whoever, for the newcomers, whoever new for the subject, whoever want to develop the right method properly, step by step, then you have to understand the criteria, you have to understand how this works. So in the very first level, you have to come to develop one mind. So what is this one mind mean? Why we have to bring this word today? Because in the world, it is very famous, this multitasking. Many minds at one time. But when it comes to meditation, you have to understand the very nature of the mind. If you go many minds at one time, many works at one time, you are not capable to go into any work, any action deeper. And you may on the surface level will touch things, but you are not capable to get into the depth. The very reason mind always work with one thought at one time. So that's why in the tranquility state, you develop that. So once you have this tranquility state, it will help you to strengthen your awareness, or whatever you see, it helps you to develop the clarity. And not only that, it helps you to see more deeply. You can go more deeper, not all just touching on the surface level. And you can see more widely. You're not going to become very narrow. You are capable to see very wider ways when you experience something. And other thing is, you are capable to see things very sharp. So that is what, when the tranquility mind, when you have the tranquility mind, that is what happens to you. So getting to that tranquility state, we come to very primary mental object in the beginning. Because the mind always go here and there. Even though you are here, your mind everywhere. So that's why in the very first level, you have to bring the mind to one place. So one place means right now, right here within you, not anywhere else. So then, once you have the primary mental object, what will happen? Your mind will settle down. You have the one thought, and in that primary mental object, in that base, in that stage, in that foundation, you feel comfortable, joy, satisfaction, so that kind of things within the moment. So without that, remember, you can't experience deeper into things in your life. As example, if you have the disturbed, unhappiness, sadness, worry, disappointment, with that kind of qualities in your mind, you can't see things clearly. So now what is happening? Your mind tranquilized as a result of that primary mental object, and you are tranquilizing with it, you gain the joy, satisfaction, and happiness. It is not a kind of like a deeper level, but even in a very shallow level, tranquility state, you feel so calm, relaxed, comfortable. So that's why we step by step develop the tranquility meditation. And now you settle down. Our primary mental object is our observing our inhalation, exhalation. Once you are settling down with the primary mental object, what happens? You are capable to see these secondary mental objects more clearly. So now remember the meaning and understanding why we develop primary mental object, not to be there, not to settle down, not to go into sleeping mode, not to find the happiness, not to feel the joy. No. Because once you are settling down with the primary mental object, with the calmness, tranquility state, and happiness, joy, you are capable to see all the secondary objects. Another way, the perception. Those are the secondary objects. You are capable to see those things as secondary objects. Otherwise, what happens? When you can't settle down with the primary mental, all the secondary objects become your primary object. So now you can see the tranquility state separate you from this secondary object or the perception, and now you can see it. It's kind of like you climbing to a top of a mountain to see the landscape, to see it very clearly. And once you have this, now you are capable to understand, see all the secondary objects, that whatever happening in the moment within yourself. And that is what another way we call satipatthana. So 4 foundations. With your body, with your feelings, with your mind, with your phenomena. So those are the secondary objects. There's nothing beyond that. So you become very clear with that. And as a result of that, what happens, the seeing part, remember in the beginning that with the tranquility state, you are capable to see this all the primary mental objects, the secondary mental objects. Now what happens, that what you see become more clear and sharp. And it is not that on the tranquility state that what you saw. Because when it comes to satipatthana, and you are capable to see, you are capable to experience it more deeply, more thoroughly, more vividly, more clearly. It is not the way that you saw with the tranquility mind. It's become different. That experience called vipassana. So that's why some says you can't do vipassana. Because the vipassana is a result of your practice. So what you practice satipatthana. You practice concentration and awareness with the 4 foundations. And as a result of that, what happens, what you experience become more sharp, clear. And another thing is, you are capable on the tranquility state, you can see this or that. You mostly see here and there. So like that. But when it comes to vipassana, when you observe the 4 foundation, when you develop the 4 foundation, your mind start to get out of these boundaries. As example, the body. You are capable to experience this body. So whatever the bodily posture, and at the same time, the function of this outside the body structure and inside the structure, all the organs, that everything you are capable to experience. And the phenomena and the very nature, the very behavior, and all the Dharma related to this body. And not only that, the mind work with this body. And not only that, out of the feelings, how things are arising. So in the moment you are capable to see this. That develop the clarity within your very being itself, not about something else. So that clarity itself. Another way that when it comes to mindfulness, it's a kind of like giving the attentive awareness with the moment by moment. And it becomes your attitude. It's not because of something else, because the moment, in this very moment, you are experiencing you. And so that paying attention to the moment of the object arising, passing, with the right attitude, bring the total clarity to understand what is happening within you right now. And that understanding, another way, we call mindfulness. And another way we can call it as the memory, because you are totally experiencing and recognizing. It is that what you recognize is not separate from you. You recognize itself, the recognizer and what you recognize, both become the one. So that is the method that take you to deeper to understand this change happening moment by moment. So vipassana means, another way, it's the result of your practice. So what you need to practice, you have to practice the 4 foundations. To practice that 4 foundations, you have to have the tranquility mind. To develop the tranquility mind, you have to have a primary mental object. Once you have the primary mental object, it will help you to see that all the secondary objects as it is. And that's how you develop this path. But in the moment, then, the very important thing, rather than looking for something, you have to come to the very moment to have the right attitude. That is the very important thing. So right attitude means here, when you observe your primary mental object, in the very first level, you should know what is the primary mental object. And you have to be very clear with that understanding. So observing breathing, so then you know it is in front of your nose and your upper lip area. So by the time what happens, you start to find something else. Maybe you start to focus to somewhere else, and maybe your posture start to go down and become different. And you start with the breathing and you end with something else. That doesn't work. It's nothing wrong with anything, but it is your right understanding that the clarity within regarding the primary mental object is very necessary. And then another thing is, you should know how to do it. So how to do means what? So that is why that the paying attention with the object, and you have to have the right attitude for that. So when the inhalation, exhalation arise, you are not interfering. That is what right attitude here. You are not interfering to the breathing to make it long or short, make it soft or heavy. you just see it and recognize. That is what the attitude you have to develop. Not to make anything the way you want. And then you will see it. So seeing the breathing will help you to settle down, and it will slowly take you to understand about other things, little by little, little by little. But if you are not capable to settle down here and see your breath, how that because other things going to come as a result. So only thing is you have to work here and develop this and be master with that. How to observe the breathing. It's look like very simple, but once you start to do it, that is one of the most disturbed, miserable, difficult thing that sometimes you do. So then that's why you have to be very clear to develop yourself, the method, practice yourself and understand yourself, how to observe the breathing without disturbing, without making it, without interfering to it. And then another one is, you have to develop a method, continuation, not to drop in a certain level. And you have to develop to repeat it again and again, again and again with the mindfulness. So that also part of the right attitude here with your breathing. Why? Because when the mind goes somewhere, without disturbing, without being worried, without being unhappy, without getting mad, without being angry, you bring it back. So that also part of your attitude. And develop the continuation. So when you bring it back, your awareness should be more sharper than the previous moment. Otherwise, what will happen? It decline. So then you should know your awareness, your attention was not enough. So that's why the mind went away. So now you have to recognize, to put more attention, put more awareness, put more effort on your recognition and be with it. So then if the mind go again, and again you bring it back. But when you bring it back, you have to be more strong, more sharp, more clear than the previous moment. So that also another, the quality of your attitude that when it comes to attention. Remember those things when you practice again and again. Another thing is, another attitude that you have to have here when you observe the inhalation, exhalation. So whatever you experience, not to hold it to that experience, to drop it, drop it. Look at the world, yourself. So whatever you experience, can you hold it to that experience? From morning to now, that whatever you experience in that very moment, you can't hold it to that. Whatever you experience, you have to drop it in that very moment. That is the very nature of life. So the same principle now deeply you observe and experience. Inhalation, exhalation, long, short, heavy, soft, you drop it there. And that also becomes this right attitude when it comes to observing the primary mental object. Another thing is, when you observe You should not have any kind of desire, any kind of future plans. You are not observing, thinking, you are heading towards something. That is very difficult. Because we always have we have a kind of like a very inherent. We born with the desire, we born with the idea, we born with the will, we born with planning. Our mind always have a shadow towards tomorrow. But now you come, you settle down here with your inhalation, exhalation. In the very moment you drop it, and at the same time you don't have something clinging towards the future. So if you develop it with your primary mental opposite, those attitudes, you will see even 1 minute of practice, how open and take you deeper and sharp and wider your recognition. So then remember that tranquility development is very necessary. It is not must, but it is very necessary when it comes to the development of this path or understanding or practicing yourself, how this work. So in the very basic level, if you have that foundation with your tranquility mind, and if it is become sharper, clear, and your journey going to become more successful for you. So try to understand it again and again yourself. Look into that and see, and develop your structure. Don't just keep practicing, without any result. No, you have to gain the result. You have to experience the result. You have to see the result. That result means the change or the development in you. So that is what you should have. Don't go to struggle. Don't go to kind of like a become tangled. Don't go towards the doubt or the darkness. Don't go to the gloomy mind. No, every day you have to practice and go towards the clarity. You have to come out of the darkness. Every day you should feel, oh, this is how it works. This is how it works. So day by day, you have to be advanced. It is your responsibility. If there is something, then you have to look into that, and you have to question yourself, and you have to ask that whoever around you, if anyone practice, or otherwise, we are here. So that's why we are here. We just, share our thoughts, and at the same time, we guiding each other. So your part is, you have to have that internal attitude to yourself to have the development in you. So otherwise, it's just you just build up your own kind of, the gloomy mental state that you are become so comfortable there yourself. And every day you think, oh, you practice meditation, and then you go to your sleeping mood, and you feel so good about it, and then you come out of it and you live with it. No. It's not like that. So day by day, you have to bring the clarity to yourself. And how you know that yourself? Because you see the change, and you are recognizing yourself, and it deeply help you to change who you are. So that is the most important part. So then remember tranquility meditation. And through that tranquility meditation, now how it helped to recognize the secondary objects. And then it take you to the satipatthana. And through the 4 foundations, the result you gain the vipassana. And through that, you recognizing how things come to be as they are. And finally, you experience the change, impermanence, unsatisfactory nature, and selflessness within the moment you experience without becoming biased to your own thoughts, your own mental pattern. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and observe head to toes yourself and say Swapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. And as I mentioned, and develop the right attitude when you observe the inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chami sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numudantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numudantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numudantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhamma Nudhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Addaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu. Bless you.